In the quiet, endless void of space, where silence reigns supreme and nothing moves without purpose, humanity listens. Every second, antennas on Earth sweep the heavens, waiting for whispers from the cosmos. For decades, those whispers have been faint and distant. Pulsars, quasars, dying stars. But this time, the whisper wasn't random. It wasn't natural. It came from 31 Atlas. For those who don't know, 31 Atlas is not just any satellite. It is one of humanity's most advanced deep space surveillance observatories, designed to detect near-Earth objects, asteroids, comets, anything that could pose a threat to our fragile planet. Atlas, short for the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, has eyes sharper than any telescope before it, scanning the skies for dangers no one else can see. But recently, Atlas 31 went dark. For weeks, silence. Engineers assumed a malfunction. Perhaps a solar storm had fried its circuits. Perhaps cosmic dust had blinded its sensors. And then it spoke again. At first, the signal seemed routine, a diagnostic ping, a status report. But hidden inside was a second layer, a transmission encrypted in a way Atlas was never programmed to produce, a hidden channel carrying something darker, heavier, a message not meant to be ignored. When scientists began decoding the strange packet of data, confusion spread. The signal wasn't just telemetry. It was structured, mathematical, repetitive patterns that screamed of intelligence. And the most shocking part? The transmission wasn't pointing outward. It wasn't aimed into the depths of space, searching for something unknown. It was pointing back at Earth. Within hours, rumors leaked from inside observatories. Reddit threads exploded. Amateur astronomers claimed to detect unusual bursts of light in the same region of sky Atlas had been observing. And then a chilling detail emerged. The encoded message contained a timeline. It wasn't years. It wasn't decades. It was days. Days until what? No one knew, but the countdown was real, ticking away second by second, carved into the signal like a cosmic clock. The world had heard many warnings before. Asteroid threats, doomsday predictions, alien conspiracy theories, but this was different. This wasn't superstition. This wasn't a fringe belief. This was a government satellite, one of NASA's most trusted watchers of the skies, sending back a transmission it should not have been able to produce. The question was terrifyingly simple. Who or what was speaking through Atlas? And why were they warning us? The data was rushed to NASA's Deep Space Network, then forwarded to private contractors, intelligence agencies, even foreign governments. For once, secrecy crumbled. The stakes were too high, too urgent. Everyone needed to know what 31 Atlas had seen. The transmission had 3 parts. Part 1 was a map, a star chart unlike anything in Atlas's archive. It displayed our solar system, each planet aligned in their current positions. But something else hovered just beyond Neptune, a cluster of objects moving fast, converging toward the inner solar system. Some scientists thought they were comets. Others whispered a different possibility. They weren't natural at all. Part 2 was the countdown, a digital sequence etched into the signal, ticking toward 0. Analysis revealed it wasn't arbitrary. It aligned perfectly with the orbital trajectory of one massive object in the star map, an object on course for Earth. But Part 3 was what broke the silence of every room where it was shown. It wasn't numbers. It wasn't data. It was sound, a low, resonant hum rising and falling in perfect intervals, too structured to be noise, too deliberate to be coincidence. Some described it as mechanical, like the thrum of an engine. Others swore it sounded biological, like a heartbeat. But when the audio was visualized on spectrograms, one thing was undeniable. It carried language-like patterns. The hum wasn't just sound, it was communication. And when AI systems ran linguistic analysis, a chilling translation emerged. We see you. We are coming. The world stopped. Governments scrambled. Some called it fear-mongering. Others demanded total silence to prevent mass panic, but the genie was out of the bottle. Independent scientists confirmed the signal. It was no hoax. No human technology could have altered Atlas's systems like this, not without access it never had. Something external had used our satellite as a relay. Theories exploded. Was it alien intelligence finally answering after decades of silence? Was it a warning from an ancient civilization that had traveled this path before? Or worse, was it not a warning at all but a declaration? The countdown ticked on. Meanwhile, strange phenomena began appearing around the globe. Astronomers reported mysterious objects entering the solar system, invisible to normal optics but detectable in infrared. Radio telescopes captured echoes of the same hum across multiple frequencies, as if space itself was vibrating with the message. And ordinary people, Farmers, pilots, fishermen reported strange lights in the skies, behaving unlike any aircraft. Panic spread quietly at first, then loudly. Markets crashed. Military forces around the world moved to high alert. Satellites shifted positions, scanning the skies. Yet, deep down, humanity knew there was nothing we could do to stop what was coming. For the first time in history, Earth wasn't preparing for a natural disaster. It was preparing for an arrival. The final days of the countdown were unlike anything humanity had ever experienced. Streets were empty. Families huddled together. Nations called for prayer, meditation, unity, anything to hold back the wave of fear. Every eye turned to the sky. Every ear strained for another signal. And then, just before the countdown reached 0, 31 Atlas sent one last burst of data. This time it wasn't a star chart. It wasn't numbers. It wasn't sound. It was an image, grainy, distorted, but undeniable. A vast silhouette against the blackness of space. Not a comet, not an asteroid, a structure. Its shape was geometric, deliberate, like a fortress drifting through the void. Some said it resembled a ship. Others said it looked like a swarm of smaller crafts moving as one. But one fact silenced the world. It was headed directly toward Earth. At that moment, all speculation ended. The whispers, the theories, the debates, they dissolved into one truth. We were not alone, and they were not hiding anymore. The countdown struck 0. The transmission stopped. 31 Atlas went permanently offline, as if its purpose had been fulfilled.